Hello, welcome to Alternate Future of the World, Episode 4, Quattro. We're gonna get straight into it, where we see Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, Suriname and Guyana. Okay, let's explain what happened. You see, the buddies, Bolivia and Peru, wanted their land back, or specifically Bolivia, but they're pretty close. And Argentina had some border disputes they wanted to get over with Chile, so you see them joining. Brazil does not like this power that they're having, these three, and so they're going to declare war on Argentina, Bolivia, and Peru, and Paraguay takes Brazil's side, but Uruguay takes Argentina's because they did not like the fact that Brazil controlled them during the Empire of Brazil. These two are, just taking sides. We also see Colombia declare war on Venezuela. Ecuador just joined on Peru's side because, they're not super close, but a little bit. So we see the fighting commence. Notably, you see a small campaign by Bolivia and Peru trying to. Not very successful. We see, pretty swift and easy campaign through Paraguay with Argentina and Bolivia's help. It's pretty simple. You also see some movement into Brazil from Bolivia's flank. Just kind of around the edges. Just kind of like that, though. But, it's not going to be easy. This is a very strong country. And it's very noticeable when we see Brazil enter into the northern parts of Brazil. But interestingly enough, we see quite a few of them enter in from Colombia. What does this mean? I don't really know. They stretch all the way out to Ecuador and reach the coast. And so, there is a pretty easy push in the north, and then they get halted by a large number of Peruvian and Ecuadorian troops. Right here. But, we're going to see some more advances. Like, from Chile, they can take over Argentina's little claim and make a small little entrance right in the bottom, in the south. But that's about it. But we do see Argentinian troops move in kind of from the south, but like just away from them. So they make a spearhead connecting, cutting off the Chileans. So now they start to push it down into them. And so anyways, we see more of a slow, it starts to slow down when we see Chile having they had a pretty successful at the start, but now are starting to get pushed back, kind of struggling to get hold of it. And so now we see the Argentinians start to push them back, and successfully push them back all the way out. So it's not looking very good for Chile. Neither parts. In the north, not as bad, but it's still pretty bad, I'd say. And it just gets worse as troops start just flying through the mountains. Yeah, you heard me. They're flying literally, and so start wrapping around and just calling Chile weak. As you can see, Chile's doing not a very good job, and Argentina cuts them off in 2 locations. And we see this part surrender. The south, so we see surrender. I don't know why it keeps doing this. And then Chile's just out of the war. So now Brazil's kind of glad they don't have to support their ally. I mean, the best thing that we see Brazil start to have more success. Eventually, basically, it's taking over Ecuador and move down the coast of Peru. Well, you know, Paraguay realizing what's going to happen if they don't surrender now, they're going to surrender. And, you know, they're actually going to stop the war. And we're actually going to go take a look at Venezuela and Colombia. We see, sorry for the pause, we see Colombian troops start to enter in the north, encircling this bay, and, you know, a lot of success, strangely enough, as if they're being funded by someone. I wonder who that could be. And so, anyways, it's a pretty steady advance for Colombia, not really having any problems. Just, yeah, it's not looking very good for Venezuela. Basically, pretty easily steamrolling them. And Venezuela's wondering how. They're invading through rainforest, and they went through the other side. So, you know, it's not looking very good, as we can see. And, you know, they just started to ramp it up. I mean, Venezuela's basically just stopped. Every time they've tried, it hasn't worked out. So, let's take a look at the peace treaty. Alright, so let's take a look at the peace treaty. We'll start north. We'll start up north and start going down south. As you can see, Venezuela doesn't exist anymore. You know, didn't feel like it. Brazil's borders look very ugly, but they took Ecuador's little thing, and they took a decent part of Peru, kind of looking like that. So now they don't have that. Peru has gained this little piece of land down here. So as you can see, Peru gains this chunk of land. Bolivia gains some land from Brazil, basically where they occupied, like right here. And then they get this, and then Paraguay, as you can see, doesn't really exist anymore. You know, whatever. Kind of looks something like that. They also took this little panhandle that was Chile, or not panhandle, but the land that Bolivia used to own. Uruguay got a little bit of land, even though they didn't really do too much fighting. They were like this, now they're like this. Argentina got the best. They got kind of a part of Argentina. Chile got really hit hard. They got their land, Argentina. They also got all of this. All of that. So, you know, they're significantly different from the world view. And sorry I wasn't able to get anything more, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And if I don't see you later, good evening, good afternoon. As I say, good morning, good evening, and good night. If I don't see you tomorrow, good morning, good evening, and good night.